Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Juliana and you're watching Bloom with Juliana. Today I want us to talk about a very important topic that I think is very crucial for any person that wants to create a life that is fulfilling and happy for themselves and those around them. There is an expiry date on blaming your parents for steering you in the wrong direction. The moment you are old enough to take the wheel, the responsibility lies with you. This was said by J.K. Rowling. I read this in a blog post and it really resonated with something inside of me because I agree with everything that she says. Because we can only blame our parents for so much. We can only blame the circumstances in our lives for so much. But it has to get to a point where we stop the blame game, we stop finger pointing, and we start taking personal responsibility for what is happening in our lives, for our actions and our decisions in our lives. Because we are old enough and we have the responsibility of our own life to make the choices that will bring the kind of life that we want for ourselves. So today I want us to speak about personal responsibility. So let's get started. I'll be referring to my notes and just try to speak from a point of flow, if you may say, just about, because it's a topic that I hold dear. It's a topic that I think so many of us need to embrace, this skill of personal responsibility, and stop finger pointing and thinking that there is always somebody else to blame, and start just looking inwards and seeing our part in what's happening in our lives and what we can do better, what we can improve, and such like. So without further ado, I want to begin by defining what personal responsibility means. And I would say that personal responsibility means holding yourself accountable for your life, for your actions, and for what is happening around you. And I do not disregard for a minute, the external circumstances, the external factors that happen, and the places we find ourselves without our choosing. I do not disregard the external factors by any bit. But personal responsibility is realizing that even with all these external factors that are happening in our lives and that are happening to us or for us, there is a place for each individual to embrace that and take up the responsibility to look at, is there something that I would have done better? Is there a better decision that I would have made? Is there a better way that I would have handled this? Would I have done this in a better way given the chance, or with better understanding of what this means to me? So for me, it's holding yourself accountable for your actions and exercising self-control to do what is required of you and in a way that is required of you. So as J.K. Rowling would say in the quote that I read earlier, there is an expiry date for blaming our parents for steering us in the wrong direction, because when you're old enough, it's upon yourself to take up the responsibility, take on the steering wheel, and steer yourself in the direction that you want your life to go. And it applies in every area of our lives. You get to a point where you're old enough to think for yourself, to think on your own, to make choices and decisions. And it's upon you to make the right decisions, to make the right choices, so that you steer your life in the direction that you wish for it to go. So it's realizing that you must take up personal responsibility for your life. You cannot keep finger pointing at people or blaming others for your situations. You have to take up the responsibility that lies in you to drive yourself into the kind of lifestyle that you want to live. And implementing this could look like this. After making a mistake, it's taking the time to figure out whether there is a better way you could have done this, there is a better decision you could have made, and putting yourself to task to do better the next time. It could also look at taking credit when you made a positive impact in something and some good happened in it. Personal responsibility also includes taking up the credit and taking up the successes without feeling selfish, because it's your success, because you made the correct choices, you made the correct decisions, and things happened for you. And also, it's understanding how to protect your well-being. It's your personal responsibility to ensure that you're not overcommitting or overextending yourself, that you're caring for yourself, that you're keeping your boundaries so that you do what you need to do, as well as you protect yourself from harm and you keep yourself healthy and safe. So you do not overcommit or overextend yourself, but you look out for your own well-being. And when you do this, you live, you're able to enjoy your life because you do what's needed to do, you get what the results you want to get, and you can keep chasing more and more in your life because you can see it happening for you. So how can we take up personal responsibility in our lives? The first thing is setting boundaries. And this is important because you want to understand and know your limits. You want to be in a place of self-awareness where you know what you can do and up to what level. You know your limits and you work within your limits. You push yourself, but you don't overextend yourself. You set boundaries. You allow yourself to push through to be better every time, but you know what you can do and to what level. And the second one is communicating clearly. This involves communicating your needs with those around you. It involves seeking feedback from what you do so that you learn what you need to do, the choices you need to make better, the decisions you need to make in order that you may grow in your life, and to also reflect on your efforts. Communicate clearly with yourself. Be self-aware to a point where you understand what you're doing and what you need to work better on, and really just see the efforts that you're putting into whatever you're doing, and taking the responsibility to allow yourself to celebrate your moves and to also rest if that needs to be done. And also you need to be really, really humble so that you realize you're not perfect. You're not perfect. You will never be perfect. Perfect is overrated. And so you are aware of your limitations and failures, and the key here is being aware of your limitations and failure, but not obsessing on them. Because then if you obsess on your failures and disappointments, then you will start having self-pity, and it is not something you want to have in your life. You want to be able to stand up and realize that these are the setbacks that are happening, these are my limitations, and then coming up with things that you can do to improve that in your life and become better to a point where you can grow as a person. So I think these are the three ways that you can really take up that can help you to embrace the skill of personal responsibility in your life. It's setting boundaries, communicating clearly with others and yourself, and the third one is being humble. So why is personal responsibility important in your life? Why is it important that you embrace this skill in your life? The first one is it helps to build trust and therefore develop long-lasting and meaningful relationships with others, because nobody likes to always be blamed for something. Everybody wants to be in a relationship with someone or a friendship with someone that can be trusted to take up responsibility for what they do wrong or what they do right. And so when you have taken personal responsibility for your life, for your actions, for your decisions, then you're able to create a very special rapport with people around you. And for this reason, they can trust you easily because they know you will not point fingers to them and you will not accuse them of being the people that are causing you problems in your life, because you have taken personal responsibility for your life. And so you build trust and therefore build meaningful and long-lasting relationships. The second thing is you gain the ability to learn from your mistakes, and therefore you become better. And the best thing you can do for yourself as you work towards creating a life that you love is remaining being, or rather, it's becoming a student for life. It's allowing yourself to learn from your mistake. It's allowing yourself to become better and making better decisions and taking better actions so that you can become better. So when you take personal responsibility, you're able to admit and learn from your mistakes. The other way is it contributes to a higher self-esteem and happiness, because when you take personal responsibility, it pushes you to make better choices. It pushes you to take better actions. And so you live your life knowing that you're doing what needs to be done. And it goes without saying that when you're doing what needs to be done, you end up getting what you want to get. There will be some times where you've done everything right, but you don't get what you want. But it happens also that you do things well and things happen well for you. And so you live in a life where you're always in high esteem of yourself and you're happy because your life is going on well. And the other one is it helps you achieve the lifestyle that you want to achieve, to create a life that you love to live and a life that you enjoy living. And this does not only affect you alone as an individual, but it also creates a positive ripple effect around you and the people around you, because they can feel your energy, they can feel your vibe. And so it helps you to achieve a very good kind of lifestyle and create a life that you will definitely love to live. And as we wrap up this video on personal responsibility, I want to read another quote, but this one is by Eleanor Roosevelt, and it says, "In the long run, we shape our lives and we shape ourselves. The process never ends until we die, and the choices we make are ultimately our own responsibility." And it's so true, because life is made of the choices that we have made. The choices we make today will make our tomorrow. And so it's realizing that the choices that we make today are ultimately our responsibility, and it's accepting that and taking it up in such a way that you live life knowing that whatever I choose to do today will affect my tomorrow. And so you can make better choices if you want a better life. It's that simple. And Jim Rohn would go ahead to say that you must take personal responsibility. You cannot change the circumstances, the seasons, or the wind, but you can change yourself. And this is so true. We do not choose the families we are born in. We do not choose the kind of families we are born in. We do not choose the circumstances or the environment that we are born in. We do not even choose the country that we are born in. So, and to some extent, the government that is ruling is not something that we can change overnight. There is so little that you can do about some things. There is so little that you can do about changing so many things. But you can change yourself. And it's simple. It's about changing the choices that you make and making different decisions, taking up different activities to help you to become a better person, to change yourself. If you need to adopt a new kind of mindset, it's making the decisions to really do that. If you need to put more effort in learning something, it's in your responsibility to do that. Nobody can make these decisions for you all over the life, in all of your life, because when we were young, we depended on our parents and guardians, and there is nothing wrong with that. It's actually expected and it's actually the right thing to do. But then you get to an age where you're old enough to think for yourself and to make decisions. But the problem is, a majority of us will go ahead to continue looking up to be given everything by our parents and guardians or our siblings, and we end up in this kind of a generation where people are always pointing fingers. Oh, my dad didn't take me to the best of schools. My mom called me this. My mom told me this. My sisters won't help me. My brother said this. Oh, my cousins are not even supporting my business. Oh, people are not watching my videos and they're my friends. But everybody has their own life. It's a responsibility for your own life. But we need to learn how to stop pointing the fingers. I was listening to a YouTuber, Clark Kegleys, a few days ago, and he was sharing some of the most outstanding lessons he has learned over the 10 years of self-improvement that he has gone through. And he mentioned that effort is the currency of respect. And I think this comes in really well, because when you put in effort into becoming a better person, into creating the kind of life that you want, it is inevitable for it not to call for respect from different people. If it's something that you're doing, like now I challenge myself, because YouTube is something I want to really do, but I need to put in more effort if I want to see results on it. And so it's putting in the effort. And when the effort has been put in and the results start to come out, only then can I get the respect in terms of more results, or in terms of results, that can I see this kind of respect. So it's stopping to blame people for not wanting to do something that I think they should do to support me, but seeing my part in all this. It's putting more and more in everything that I do. So it's the same for you. Is there that thing that you want to do or you're doing? Just need to put more effort, make better choices, take up responsibility where you need to do. It's doing your part to the best way that you can do, and then leaving the rest to work itself out, because you can only do so much. You can only do your part. You cannot do everything. I mean, you can do, there are times where you will do everything right, and at the last moment probably make a mistake or two and things don't go right, or you will do everything by the book and still not get what you thought you would get. But it's taking the responsibility and learning from these failures, learning from the disappointments, learning from the mistakes and all that. So thank you so much for watching this with me. But before we go, I want to remind you that you're responsible for the way you live and the actions you take. And because of that, you're also responsible for the outcomes of your actions. So if you take the wrong actions, my friend, you will get the wrong outcome, and you're responsible for that. But before I go, I want to just list a few things that are totally your personal responsibility. And the first one is to register as a voter and take part in the elections. That is your responsibility. The second one is to pay taxes on time, whether they are increased or not. Pay taxes on time. The third one is take good care of your health and safety. And I want to pause here and just elaborate more and put more effort into this. Health is a very wide arena, but it's your responsibility to take up the responsibility of ensuring that you're taking good care of your health and your safety. Your health in terms of your quality and quantity of sleep, and your quality of food. Just take care of, just ensure that you understand nutrition and you just commit yourself to eat well for your body. The third one is movement. Ensure you move. You don't have to do an hour long workout every day or go to the gym every day, but do some sort of movement. Safety is ensuring that you're living life in a safe way. You're not engaging in harmful activities that could affect your health and you as a person, but you're living safely. If you live in a place that you cannot go out at night, then don't go out at night. And when you do, ensure that you're with people you can trust. Be safe when you go out and and you're enjoying yourself with a drink. Ensure that your drink is safe. You don't want to be drugged or something of the sort. If you go out and you need to do something, ensure that you do it safely. Now, the fourth one is make effort to listen attentively to others as they speak. It's your responsibility. Don't just listen to answer, but listen to understand. Listen to understand what they're talking about. Then always be punctual. This is purely your responsibility. And the other one is to admit and apologize for the mistakes that you make everywhere in your life. If you make a mistake, if you hurt somebody, be ready to admit and apologize. That is the best thing that you can always do when you hurt someone. Apologize and be sincere about it. My charge for you today is to embrace the belief that you have the power and the responsibility to shape the life that you desire. And it starts with you taking personal responsibility for your life and for everything that you're doing. So, stop finger pointing, stop blaming others for things that are truly your own. Own up the outcome of your actions and choices, whether good or bad. And in everything, be you, do you, and do your best. Until next time, bye.